The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game.
A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs the eternal human rest. They thought, if only Casey could get but a whack at that, we'd put up even more money, now with Casey at the bat.
But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake, and the former was a Lulu, and the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat.
But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, that much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and the men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn hung on a third.
Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It knocked upon the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat.
There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, a smile on Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lifted and doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat.
10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then, while the withering pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip.
And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood watching it in a haughty grooty there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheaded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said.
From the benches black with people, there went a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on the stern and the distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd killed him had not Casey raised his hand.
With the smile of a Christian charity, Casey Vichy shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the sphere hurled through. But Casey still ignored it. The umpire said, strike two.
Fraud! Cried the maddened thousands, and answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let the ball go by again.
The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence upon his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow.
Oh, somewhere in the favored land the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there's no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out.